Have you ever looked at your bank account, seen like $47 sitting there and thought, well, that's basically nothing. What am I going to do with that? And then, because it doesn't feel like real money, you grab a snack, you order something on McDonald's, you buy that cheap thing on Amazon, and suddenly you're at $12 with absolutely nothing to show for it. But here's the crazy part. Most people think their financial life is being destroyed by big purchases, the car, the phone, the rent, when in reality, it's the small money that completely determines whether they build wealth or stay stuck forever. Because the truth is, your relationship with $50 predicts your relationship with $5,000. And most people fail the $50 test every single time. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about the psychology of money. Specifically, why people are so good at managing big dollars and absolutely terrible at managing the small ones. If you're someone who constantly says things like, I'll start saving once I make more, or it's just 50 bucks, who cares? Then make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because this one concept might genuinely change your entire financial life. All right, let's talk about the $50 rule. Section 1, why small money feels meaningless. Most people don't respect small money because it doesn't feel powerful. $50 doesn't feel like a game changer. 100 doesn't feel like wealth. Even 200 feels like whatever in today's world. But here's what most people don't realize. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average person spends between $1,500 and $2,300 per year on untracked, low-value, sub-$20 purchases. That's more than rent in many cities, gone from small money. And here's where it gets interesting. The average American makes over 600 financial decisions a month, but only 6 involve big money. The other 594, all small money, which means your wealth isn't built on the 6 big choices you make. It's built on the 594 small ones you ignore. Section 2, the psychological trap. Let me show you the psychology behind this. There's a cognitive bias called denominator blindness. It basically means when the number is small, your brain stops caring. You will freak out when your rent increases by $150, but you will happily waste $150 across 10 tiny purchases without blinking. If I told you, hey, your phone bill is now $50 higher every month, you'd be furious. But spending $8 on snacks, $12 on delivery fees, $6 on a random upgrade, $15 on subscriptions, $9 on impulse buys, all in the same day, you'll do it without thinking. People aren't bad at money. They're just blind to small numbers. Section 3, why the $50 rule matters. You might be thinking, it's only 50 bucks. What difference does it make? Okay. Let me show you something. If you save just $50 a week, $50 per week times 52 weeks equals $2,600 per year. Invested at 8% for 10 years equals $37,648. 20 years equals $114,000. 30 years equals $282,000 from $50 a week. Meanwhile, the average person can't save money because they're constantly losing it in $7, $12, $18, $5 amounts that don't matter. This is why the $50 rule matters, because if you can't control the little money, you will never control the big money. Section 4, the $50 rule. So here's the rule. If you can't justify spending $50, you don't buy it. If you can't track where $50 went, you fix your system. If you can't save $50, you're not allowed to increase your lifestyle. This rule forces discipline at the smallest scale so you can build wealth at the largest scale. The skill of managing small dollars is identical to managing big dollars, only the number changes. Section 5. How small money becomes wealth. Let me give you a real story. A subscriber, let's call him Ahmed, told me he couldn't save anything. Paycheck to paycheck, nothing left. I said, track every purchase under $20 for 30 days. He didn't want to, thought it was pointless. Then he did it, and guess what? He discovered $280 on snacks, $190 on delivery fees, $74 on one-time purchases, $62 on forgotten subscriptions, $81 on impulse stuff. Total equals $687 in 1 month. He wasn't bad with money. He was leaking it through 1,000 tiny cuts. After applying the $50 rule for 12 weeks, he saved $1,800. This is why small money matters. Section 6. The psychology shift. Why this changes everything. Here's where it gets really interesting. When people start respecting small money, something psychological happens. 1. You stop impulse buying because every dollar feels like a mini decision. 2. You start delaying gratification because you see tiny savings adding up. 3. You start identifying as someone who saves money instead of someone who tries to save. 4. Your self-control increases because you're flexing the same muscle that manages big money. 5. You become hyper-aware of leaks, which naturally fixes your financial system. The $50 rule is not about saving $50. It's about changing who you are with money. Section 7. Addressing the objections. Now you might be thinking, but Jack, isn't it more important to focus on increasing my income? Yes, increasing your income is crucial. But here's what most people don't realize. When people earn more, they almost always spend more, if they're still failing the $50 test. If you can't save $50 at your current income, you won't magically save $500 when you make more. You'll just increase your lifestyle. It's lifestyle inflation disguised as progress. Another objection. Jack, I want to enjoy life. I don't want to track every dollar. And I get it. But the purpose isn't to track every dollar forever. The purpose is to retrain your brain to stop dismissing small money as nothing. Once your psychology changes, you won't need tracking. Your habits will handle it automatically. Section 8. Actionable steps. Do these immediately. All right, let's make this simple. Here are the 4 steps to apply the $50 rule starting today. Step 1. Track every purchase under $50 for 7 days. Just 1 week. Don't judge yourself. Just write it down. You will be shocked. Step 2. Set a weekly $50 minimum savings habit. Every week, save at least $50, even if it hurts, especially if it hurts. This builds the small money muscle. Step 3. Cap impulse buys at $50 total per week, not per purchase, per week. You will suddenly question every $8 purchase, and that's the point. Step 4. Assign every $1 a job. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will leave on its own. Give every dollar a purpose, even the tiny ones. Section 9. The hidden lesson. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You don't get rich by controlling the big money. You get rich by controlling the money no one else pays attention to. Wealth isn't built from the giant swings. It's built from 1,000 tiny, boring decisions that compound into something life-changing. Respect $50, and eventually, $50,000 will respect you back. Look, if you're watching this, you already know you were meant for more. You know you're capable of building wealth. You just need a system that works with your psychology instead of against it. Start small. Build the habit. Master the $50 rule. Because the truth is, the way you treat small money is the way your future money will treat you. If this helped you, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want me to break down more psychological money rules like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.